Hi guys, welcome to the explanation for PT53 Game 4. This is a slightly tricky one to diagram, so we'll talk about that first and foremost. You're ordering these three teams in three places, first, second, and third. So I've got the teams up here, F, G, and H. They're from different high schools. And then we've got the students, the debaters here, that are going to be on those teams. So MNOPST. So if you're trying to formulate how to do this, there's these three places, and I think that has a definite sense of order. So we've got an ordering component clearly here, but then it gets more complicated because once you order, say you were to do FGH or something, then you have these two students that have to go on each team. So it could be like this. You could have two students on each. But within the teams, ordering does not matter, right? So like, say we were to have N and O, they're not first and second. They're just on team one. They're both first. So for me, I'm setting this up in more like the groups are like this. They're going in on top of like these 1, 2, and 3 spots, and rank within the group doesn't matter. So if I had N, O, and F, it'd be like this. So what this is going to end up looking like is basically like an advanced ordering game. We've got, your spots 1, 2, 3, your ranks here, and then the teams are going to go down here. These can go on your bottom row, and then you're going to have 2 more spots where students can go on each of those teams. So it ends up looking a lot like an advanced ordering game, and of course there's some conceptual overlap between, grouping games and advanced ordering games. So it's not that surprising, but either way, you're ending up with doing this in a mental framework that you're very used to, So you're going to fill in F, G, and H along this bottom row, and then you're going to put the 2 teammates for each team up in these 2 top rows. And this way you have all the information about them right away. So if it was F here and then N and O, you know that, N and O is ranked first on the Fairview team. Very easy to visualize it that way. Also note that you could do it like ordering these 3, 2, 1 if you prefer. You're just going to have to make sure you translate the rules. If there's any ordering rules, flip them around. Okay, so what about the rules here? We've got this first rule is that Sefna is on the team from Gilliam. And this really backs up the method we chose to diagram this because we can now make a very easy block rule that describes this relationship. You got Sefna on Gilliam, and then one other person. We don't know who's going to be on Gilliam as well. So this block is going to get tossed into your order somewhere. Okay, next rule here is that T is on the second place team, so let's just put them in here. Wouldn't matter if you put them right here either. They just got to go in the second place team. Next one, M and P are not on the same team. Since it's a grouping sort of situation, I like to use this representation. You can also do M then not P, P then not M, like that, like a conditional way. But since it's a grouping type of situation, these are like little groups that are moving around up here. I like this visualization because it just reminds me I can't ever see M and P together. Okay, next rule is that P's team places higher than N's team. So we've got P is going to be higher than N. And higher, of course, means over to this left side. This is the first place, right? So we need to see P, N. You can do little not laws if you want to. This means now that N could never be in this group, P could never be in this group over here. Next rule is that G is higher than H. So G places higher than H. You're going to have H can't be over here, and then G can't be over here. And at that point, I took a look at this, and we now know something about where G can be. G and S, this GS block, can only go in these 2 spots, right? And then if S goes here, that's going to determine a lot of the order. The other option is, have G and S here, and then there's still more stuff floating around. But I thought, okay, well, we know this big block, this big chunky block can only be in 1 or 2 places. That's a perfect opportunity to build out some scenarios that might help us along the way. So I'm going to draw two smaller diagrams with S and G in different spots, and we'll label them 1 and 2, depending on whether S and G is here or whether the S and G block is in here. Okay, so here's where we'll do our two scenarios. The first one, we wanted to do G in here, so that whole G and S block is in the second spot. And if you do that, then P and N are going to have to go like this because they need to be on differently ranked teams. This is the only way to arrange that now. And then M and P can't be together. That kicks M over to here. And then the last person we have left is O. That's just going to have to go in the only spot we have. And then we've got this GH order. So everything gets totally fixed here. This scenario with GS in the second block, it's totally done. So, hopefully the other one is something like that, and then we'd have just a really, fast and easy solve here. Let's see. Let's get the G and S block into the number 1 spot now. So G, now we have S here. We don't really know what else is going on, unfortunately. We got F or H could be in any order, so we just do an option here. We know T's in this middle block, but other than that, there's a lot of flexibility. So you think the real work of solving this game is mostly going to be done in this second scenario down here. But we do know a lot. We know that G is always first in that scenario. If G is not first, this has to be the way it is. This is the only order for the game. So I think we'll be doing most of the work with this scenario, but it's very helpful to have both of these broken out. Okay, we'll skip the acceptability question here. E is the correct answer on that. Just taking your rules one at a time, like you always do, see where they're violated is the thing to do there. One tip on that game is, it's written in a way that's going to look slightly different than how you visualized it, because it would be like you want to flip it on its side. So if it helps you to write them out by the answer choices, like in this way, so MOPSNT, and then that helps you see whether it would be possible based on this, that might work, So like A, for example, you just see could never be possible because T is in the wrong spot. So always don't hesitate if you need to draw it in a slightly different form to work quickly. Go ahead and do so. Okay, for 19, we've got Pavlovich on the team for Hilltop High. So that's clearly not possible in this scenario, right? That's out. So we just need to make Pavlovich on the team for Hilltop High. We're going to be working in this scenario down here for that. This is it. We need to have P and N in this order. So clearly, P is going to have to be here, and this will be Hilltop, and this will be Fairview, right? So we already know a ton now about this. And then M and O could switch places. There's no rules governing them. So what could be true in that situation? A, O'Rourke is on the first place team, O1. Yeah, sure, that's totally possible in this scenario. That was actually a really tricky early question in the game because you have to, do a bit of mini diagramming. Okay, now we have Rourke on the second place team. So again, this is not possible, right? So we put O'Rourke on the second place team. And then we should know pretty well what to do by now here. We need to split up that P and N again. And then M goes here, so it's not, that's the only remaining spot for it. So what could be true given this? M is on Gilliam. Nope, not possible. G's in 1 down here, so A's gone. How about Navarro on the team from Fairview High? Yeah, sure, right? F and H can switch here. You could have F, H, or HF. So it's possible that we, do this one, and Navarro is on the team from Fairview High. So B's our correct answer here. Okay, on this next one, 21, we've got P and T as teammates. There's only one way to do that again. This scenario's out. So P and T are teammates. And then we got to determine how many individuals we can tell exactly where they place, right? So we know N's going in here, so N's in third place. But then M and O switch around, right? There's no, we can't tell anything about where the heck they are. So we know 1, 2, 3, 4 people where they place, and that corresponds here with answer choice C. Pretty easy stuff once you have these scenarios. Okay, for 22, we've got May placing higher than the Hilltop team. So if you look at it, clearly we're not here because May is with Hilltop, right? So the only way to do this, let me get my blue pen here. The only way to do this is to put M here, have this be Fairview, this be Hilltop. So it takes a moment of kind of creative thinking to see that. So we're going to have this G, F, H order here. And now, we're figuring out what could be true in this situation. Well, we know P and N are going to go like this, right? And then O's right here. So everything's just filled up from that situation. So what could be true there? F placing first. No, that's out. G placing second. Nope. Navarro on the second place team. Nope. N2 is out. How about O on the first place team? Not possible. P stuck on the first place team. So we're left with E by elimination. P on the first place team. Okay, for 23, we just have to figure out who Sefna's teammate could be. We're looking for the one person who can't be with them. So we see T, for example, here. We can eliminate that right away because we've got it in this order that's already okay. The rest of these you would have prior work to check from. I don't because I had to erase it for space considerations. So I'll just go through all of these quickly. So could May be with Sefna? Well, this looks like it'll be fine. We just split up the P and N like we need to because they're in a fixed order relative to each other. Then we get the O in there. We haven't broken any of the rules. We're fine. So M is out. That works. How about Navarro? Let's try Navarro in there. Well, we see plainly that Navarro can't be there because of this rule. Now P would be hanging off the N. So they're almost just seeing if you're asleep at the wheel here. It's the last question of the game. They want to see if you can make a quick, catch that wouldn't be possible. We're stuck here. This order is not applicable, right? We're stuck here, and we're just looking at what can be true, and P can never be in first there. N can never be in first there. Okay, catch you guys on the next game.